Gabe,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
are you sure I should start the broadcast? Because then people, when they join, I wouldn't have started.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Come on, somebody show up.
Maybe we should have advertised the coffee. How many? Okay, there was like 6, right?
Yeah, 6 people. I mean, one of them is bound to show up, but like no one can not show up. Yeah.
We might have to.
And then an email goes out like an hour before as well, just to remind people. We also send a reminder email as well. So.
Do the details match the link matches the email?
Yeah.
And the invite?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and start your talking, and I'll record. I'm recording now.
Okay.
So that when people do join, like they join something that started already. So just go ahead and start like you would normally.
Okay. If we're 20 minutes in, could I just stop?
No,
because start to finish.
Yeah, because I'm gonna send this to them anyways, and I'm gonna put it on our website. So.
Oh right.
Do it, okay. Yeah, do it like a full on. Okay.
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 The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everyone. Welcome to today's live webinar, Everything You Need to Know About Business Intelligence. My name is David Huang, and I'm a CPM/BI consultant here at Corporate Renaissance Group. And I work with clients to understand their data and reporting needs and help them implement an effective BI strategy and tool. And it's my pleasure to be here today and share some of the insights that I've acquired over the past couple of years on BI. Before I start, I just want to mention that the webinar is being recorded and will be sent out early next week so you can watch and share. The slides are also available in your GoToWebinar panel. We are taking questions, so if you have one, submit them in the GoToWebinar panel, and I'll try my best to get them throughout the presentation or at the end. And I want to, as a thank you to everyone spending the next 30 minutes here with us, we will be sending all attendees a gift card for Starbucks, just our way of saying thanks. All right, so a look ahead of what we'll be talking about. I'll start a bit about just what is business intelligence, where it's at today, how to make it effective, and the solutions that enable it. And then we'll have time for questions at the end. So when the question's asked, what is business intelligence? Most of you are probably in your head think of something like this: reporting. But I'd like to take that back and a bit and just share a definition by the Gartner Group, which defines BI as an umbrella term that includes the applications, infrastructure, and tools and best practices that enable access to and analysis of information to improve and optimize decisions and performance. Now, there's a bunch of buzzwords in here, but notice how they mention it's not just the application, but also it's the infrastructure, tools, and best practices. And we often think of BI as the reporting application and say things like, we have BI, we use Tableau, or SAP takes care of our BI. But I'd also like you to think about the processes. For example, do users review dashboards every day? Are BI reports incorporated into weekly meetings? Or maybe your BI is very advanced, where you're using it as a basis for calculating employee incentives. So these are things to consider as well. and also the infrastructure, such as your databases, or using a data warehouse. Is your data sitting on the cloud? So beyond the reporting application, there's a whole ecosystem behind that that has implications on BI. And of course, the application itself, where each one has varying analytical capabilities and look and feel. I'll talk a little bit more about those later in the webinar today. So I'd like for a second just everyone to stop thinking of BI, but of your business and your role in the business. So in your role, you probably have questions. What happened? Why? What do I want to happen? So, for example, what happened if you're a sales manager? What were my sales results last week? And why were they what they were? And what do I want them to be? And then you can monitor that throughout the week and react as the cycle repeats itself. And that's where BI fits into this. BI provides the answers to these questions, and it's a tool that enables this process. So it could be an operational tool, just like in my sales example, where it's a weekly process where you review BI, or it could be a quarterly process where it's BI is used as a strategic tool to view certain metrics. And we have a diverse audience here today, so maybe these questions are more applicable to you. How deep a discount should I offer to the customer? What other products is this customer likely to buy? If you're in marketing, what banner should I display to the visitor? Or maybe you're more in the operations, you have, depending on your organizations, is this insurance claim a fraud, or should I approve the loan to this customer? And so this is where BI would give you the answers. And once you have a question, that usually leads to other questions. For example, if let's say you find out your discount is 25%, well then, which of my customers should I offer this to? And given my resources, how long can I maintain this discount? And what is the impact to my revenue and gross profit? So BI would help answer all of these questions through interactive reports and drills downs. And the tool, it should provide all the tools available for you to look into these. So the benefits of BI, easy access to information. It helps employees make better, faster, and more relevant decisions. There's a lot of companies or managers employees within companies say, well, I spend too much time on compiling reports, or I don't have the data to execute. Well, BI eliminates that excuse and empowers users to act and make decisions. One version of the truth, data today is amazingly complex. You have different systems, you have a financial system, you have a customer relations management system. So likely your data is coming from different sources. And if you're extracting reports into Excel and you have different users applying calculations and formatting those reports, now you've just multiplied the amount of different reports they had. So with BI, you're integrating all of these different data sources and consolidating it into one. So make sure that your key stakeholders review the data and test it, and BI will make sure that everyone is reviewing and discussing the right data. The advantage to this also is strategic. You can allow your employees to focus, management be able to introduce and standardize the metrics. So for example, how do you measure your online marketing presence? Are you looking at how many visits there are to your website, how many Facebook likes you have or Twitter mentions, or maybe it's an aggregate score of all. So when you're developing BI, you can decide on the metrics. Maybe it's an aggregate score of all the things that I mentioned. And BI tools are quite sophisticated these days in building algorithms and being able to manipulate data. Time savings, of course, the BI reports are designed and built once, and then the data behind them is automatically refreshed and recalculated. So no more of running separate reports and compiling them into a presentable form. The report is the final presentation, and it's just the data behind it that's being updated. And also, of course, modern BI is empowering the user more and more, allowing them to create their own reports without IT assistance. And this would free up your IT department to focus on other strategic projects. So BI today, self-service is a big major trend in BI today. People have realizing more and more that different users require different things and have different preferences. Sometimes something simple as a bar chart versus a pie chart. So BI tools these days are making it as simple as possible for the business users to customize their reports and reduce the frustration with relying on IT. Visualizations is also, you'll hear that term a lot in BI, and all it is, you can have simple visualizations such as a graph or a chart, or you have more complex ones such as tree maps or bubble charts or fish swimming in a pond. And visualizations just means a way to represent the data to help the user draw conclusions. So if you're looking at fish swimming a pond, maybe there's a fish that's really big and it's red. That would draw the attention to the user. Mobile is a trend in everything these days, but especially when it comes to BI, it would depend on your job function. But if you're a retail company visiting one of the stores, there's a big advantage in being able to bring up a report with the store manager in the store and being able to make decisions on the fly. Machine learning is something interesting and something that's developing into the future. And what it is enabling computers to find insights without being programmed to know where to look. So advanced BI is pushing insights to you. For example, can tell you that store X is not doing well because they are out of stock for a certain product. So this is where BI is headed. So how do you make BI effective? I have some tips to share on specific to BI. So as with any projects, there are good practices. You need a champion for change. You need to get the requirements right, and so on. But I'd like to focus on the tips that I have specific to BI implementations. So this here, you're looking at 4 phases in a pretty simple methodology. You analyze the requirements, you design the solution, build it, and deploy it. But don't invest too much into these. It's just there to provide some context into some of the key practices that you should implement when implementing a BI solution. So in the analysis phase, has a lot to do with data. So as I mentioned before, your data sources could be complex. You're looking at different databases, different flat files, and effective BI is all about the underlying data. It has to be accurate, consistent, and trustworthy. People won't use it if it's not accurate. And with Excel, that's something that you can get away with because you can clean up the data in Excel, which is a problem as well. But with a BI solution, you want to simplify the data and automate it so that that process of cleaning it up in Excel is not something that you want. So when you get into the design phase, if necessary, you'll clean up, you'll know your data well enough to know what cleanup is required. That could be a lot, could be a little. But this will, you'll want to happen in parallel to the development of the BI tool. So if you're developing marketing dashboards for the draws data from CRM, you can ask the marketing department to start cleaning up the data that's in the CRM, so that as the project goes on, you're not wasting time at the end to do that, and the process is smooth. The other tip that I have is to include access to record level data. You want to build trust with your users from it. So being able to either export or drill through to a table on your dashboards will help in building that trust and making users buy into the BI tool. When it comes to building the tool, I would recommend agile development. Users don't know exactly what they need and what's possible with the BI applications. And from a development standpoint, it's very easy to update visualizations and layouts. A lot of them employ a drag and drop interface. So it's because it's so simple to do that, you'll want to show users and allow them to make changes during the build phase. And also related to that, don't get caught up too much in the fanciness and the cool factor of the tool. Ultimately, the reports should be answering the questions that the business is asking. And just bringing this back to what is BI, remember BI is about answering questions. So your solution is built and you're ready to deploy. I would recommend rolling it out to as many users as possible, get them interested, and they will be. Let them know that there's a better way to get information. Consider security and privacy issues. Security at the technical level is very complex. You can set security at the database level, at the workspace level, by reports, and at the data record level. So it's important to consider who should see what, and also test the reports to see that it's working as intended. And of course, security matters more for some organization other than others, but just generally, security is not something that should be overlooked. Documentation is also very key in terms of where the data is coming from and how it's being used, because a few months or years down the road, the people that have designed it would have forgotten, or they may not be around. So it's important to have a record of how BI works in your organization. Also have some tips to share on dashboard and report design. So here's a good one to look at. Generally speaking, this is a pretty good dashboard. A few of the things it does right is have key metrics at the top. People read from top to bottom and left to right. So those are a good placement of metrics that you want to draw attention to. You'll also notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different visualizations on this dashboard, which is a good number. I would keep on one page, I would keep the visualizations to less than 10. They also have the correct visualizations for the data. I mean, with the pie chart, you only have 4 categories, so this is not too busy. And for time-based trends, it's a line chart that works very well. So in terms of the number of visualizations and the type, this is a good representation of what you want. There's also no scrolling in this dashboard. It's all on one page, which is important. And overall, what's good about this dashboard is it tells a story. It's telling us who our customers are. So a tip or best practice, of course, is not to cram or dump analysis onto one page. BI should be interactive with drill downs, filtering. This is an image, so it's not, but if I clicked on base, it would filter the rest of the dashboard and give me metrics and figures only on customers that are considered base. Or if I want to drill down into detail about these base customers, I can right-click and drill down to a different report. So one thing I think this dashboard is missing is the use of green and red. Red is always good to get someone's attention, but the green and red color scheme is something I would recommend deploying into any dashboard. So what are some of the BI tools available today? Of course, there's a lot. What we're looking at here is Gartner's Magic Quadrant. Gartner is a very reputable technology research company. It's one of the most trusted in the world. And every year they publish a quadrant, and this one is for BI. They look at two scales, the vision and execution, basically asking us, are they doing the right things and are they doing it well? So I'll just focus on the leaders, which are the vendors that are focusing on the right things and are doing it well, which is Tableau, Microsoft, and Qlik. Power BI is Microsoft's BI tool, and it's a newer product that was released by Microsoft in 2015, but it's rapidly growing. They're investing a lot into it, and there's updates monthly. And I think Microsoft has realized the importance of BI and how it fits into all their other tools, such as Dynamics, GP, CRM, Office 365. I think they've recognized the importance of the reporting side of that. So they're investing a lot into it. Price-wise, Power BI is very good. There's a free version that allows you to get started with full design functionality, but not security and automatic data refresh. But for the Pro version is priced at $12 per user, which is much less than their competitors. The other strength with Power BI is its self-service. It's very good at giving the tools for the business user to customize their reports. Another leader in the industry is Tableau. This is a very mature product with a very reputable client base. It's more expensive than Power BI, but in terms of strength, it's better at managing larger data sets, and it also has trend lines and forecasting capabilities. Qlik is another mature product within the BI space. They boast something they call associative technology, which is better suited for data sources that are very complex. And their product performance is excellent. So in terms of smoothness and load time in the reports, that's something Qlik stands out in. So we have some time left over for questions, and I will check the web panel to see what we have. One of the questions we have here is, how long does it take to implement BI? And the answer to that is it depends. Again, BI involves process and involves infrastructure and the tool. So those are all things that come in mind when implementing BI. But if I had to give a ballpark answer, if you're feeding only Excel into BI, it's as simple as a matter of a couple of days. But overall, if you're considering the data, the level of analysis, and various users, I would say the whole process would be about a month from start to finish for a handful of reports. If you're deploying much more reports to hundreds of users across the organization, it may take longer than that. Another questions, do I need IT involved to start BI? Traditionally, yes, but as I mentioned, the trend in BI now is moving towards self-service. So assuming your data is coming from a database and not Excel, IT does have some involvement in implementing it. Anything relating to data, they will want to be involved or should be, but really it just comes down to giving access to the BI solution, making sure it can get the data where it lives, or is your IT comfortable with cloud or does it have to be on premise? So it's very key that they are involved, but their involvement is limited, and that's just more at the upfront part of the project. After the reports are implemented, there really doesn't need IT to be involved. The business users should be able to modify their own reports from there. But I have been in projects where that have been delayed because IT wasn't able to set up the correct security to access the data. So that's really the major consideration is when implementing BIs, just want some involvement on their end to be able to access the data. So we're coming to the end of 1:30. About CRG, we're a management consulting company. One of the things we're good at is helping clients turn their data into insight, and we've got over 20+ years of experience in BI. We're also certified in 2 of the 3 leading BI platforms. So if you recall the quadrant, we're certified partners in Tableau and Power BI. And remember that BI is not just a tool, so we help in the whole implementation process where needed. When it comes to discovery, analysis, building the tool, deployment, and support. In addition to technology experts, we have business expertise as well. So we do consulting on profitability, analytics, strategy, and corporate planning. So we don't just speak technology, we also speak business. For those on the call today that are looking at the bigger picture, we're also here to ensure that all business systems work together, not just BI. So we help clients understand their needs and recommend the best technology platforms to meet them. So I invite everyone to visit our website just to learn more about the services and solutions we offer. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. If you have any other questions or would like to learn more about what I've discussed, don't hesitate to contact me. My name is David Huang, and my contact information is up here. Feel free to message me about any follow-up questions to the presentation or something specific to your organization that I'd be happy to answer. I've also included the contact information of Doug, who is our Director of Business Development. He can help with arranging a deeper discussion on any needs Corporate Renaissance Group would be able to help with. Okay, great. So I think we're pretty perfect for timing, so I'll end it there. I hope you enjoy your Starbucks gift card, and do come visit our website for future webinars and to learn more about what we do.